It is Thursday, October 31st, Halloween in America. 5 days to go. This is the warning. Donald Trump spent the day on the campaign trail dressing up as a garbage man. Here he is trying to get into the truck. Serious question. What's wrong with him? Now, the campaign has done a reasonably good job of hiding this man's infirmities. But the truth is, he's infirm. This is a 78-year-old man who can't lift his leg, cannot climb into a truck. Look at the scene. The artificial coloring pancaked onto his face, the absurd vest, and over again, we got to witness one of the greatest Trumpian tells. Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
To expedite removals of Trende, Aragua, and other savage gangs, I will invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. Can you believe 1798? That's when we had people that wanted to protect their people. I have to go back a long way.
Let me help you out here, and I think the American people, as a general proposition, have a hard time with this. As someone who grew up in New Jersey, I understand it perfectly. What Donald Trump is a New York City bullshitter of the world-class variety. And every time he says, can you believe it? What he's really trying to tell you is, I'm lying my ass off. Is it possible that you people are stupid enough to believe what's coming out of my mouth? And the answer is, for a lot of the country, yes. Speaking of garbage, there's a lot of garbage around Donald Trump. Corey Lewandowski is garbage. This guy, who groped one of Trump's donors, or this guy, who dropped an abortion pill into a stripper's drink to force her to terminate a pregnancy after unprotected sex, somebody who's been accused of rape, someone who knocked up his mistress during the last campaign. Jason Miller's garbage. Stephen Miller, the fascist, the architect of Trump's immigration policy and the police state plans to deport 20 million people. He's garbage. The people who sat in the Oval Office and wondered, can we shoot the black protesters out front, in front of the White House? They're garbage too. So, should the president have said what he said? No. It was inept. And he should go to Camp David for the balance of the campaign and just relax, because a great deal is on the line. Now, Donald Trump views himself in a strange way for somebody who aspires to be the president of the United States.
And my people told me about 4 weeks ago, I was saying, no, I want to protect the people. I want to protect the women of our country. I want to protect the women. Sir, please don't say that. Why? They said, we think it's very inappropriate for you to say. I said, why? I'm president. I want to protect the women of our country. They said, sir, I just think it's inappropriate for you to say, pay these guys a lot of money. Can you believe it? I said, well, I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not. I'm going to protect them.
This is just one man's opinion. But as a dad, I don't want Donald Trump to be the protector of my daughters. I would have liked for him to have been a competent, decent, and honest president, but that was too much. We don't need a Lord Protector in America. We don't need a king, a Caesar, or an emperor. And what Donald Trump doesn't understand at a core is nobody wants his judgment over their judgment in life's most difficult moments. Not in the OR, not when you're with your priest, not when you're in the delivery room. Not ever. Nobody wants America's politicians to be our life partners in intimate decisions. Nobody wants a government big enough to peer through the bedroom window, to walk next to you from cradle to grave. Lindsey Graham, your life coach, who passes the laws that can lock you up if he doesn't like the decisions you make. That's the type of protection Donald Trump is talking about. It's the protection of the mobster. Let's observe how extreme the MAGA movement is by watching this exchange between MAGA Eva Braun and Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is the youngest fascist of any importance in the MAGA constellation. And Megyn Kelly was paid more money by an American television network to never appear again on television on their air than any person in American history. Now, Charlie Kirk, well, let's listen to him. Let's listen to his view of women and their agency as Megyn Kelly sits there like a Stepford wife listening to it. Huh. I wonder what Megyn Kelly's husband thinks about her bare shoulders in a Charlie Kirk interview. Very provocative.
And she needs people to basically lie to their husbands, which they are promoting, by the way, which I find that entire advertising campaign so repulsive. It is so disastrous. It is just like
I'll show it in a minute.
It is the embodiment of the downfall of the American family. I think it's so gross. I think it's so just nauseating where this wife is wearing you'll show it, wearing the American hat. She's coming in with her sweet husband who probably works his tail off to make sure that she can go, and have a nice life and provide for the family. And then she lies to him saying, oh yeah, I'm going to vote for Trump. And then she votes for Kamala Harris as her little secret in the voting booth. Kamala Harris and her team believe that there will be millions of women that undermine their husbands and do so in a way that it's not detectable in the polling.
Are you kidding me? The deception of the husband in the house, the husband who is working hard. Insanity. But apparently, there's an audience for it. Or at least, there's enough money in. The bottom line is freedom for women, for Black people, for Hispanics, has come hard and at great cost in the United States. And to watch it be talked about so cavalierly 5 days before this monumental election is shocking. Nobody, no man, should want their daughters to live under the blanket of Charlie Kirk's delusions, his oppressions, or his sick views about what women can do, should be allowed to do, should not be allowed to do. All of it decided by Charlie Kirk and Donald Trump. Madness doesn't begin to describe it. Donald Trump is supported by some of the most maliced, disgusting, religious hustlers and grifters that there have ever been. Women like this, Pastor Paula.
The Lord says, it is done. For I hear victory, 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 victory in the quarters of heaven. In the quarters of heaven, victory, 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 victory. For angels are being released right now. Angels are being dispatched right now. Hamanda aka ata raka teda baka sanda ata ambo osa kata rite eke banda ata rike didi ashata. For angels have even been dispatched from Africa right now. Africa right now. Africa right now. From Africa right now.
Do you want this in the Oval Office? Do you want this person being able to tell Trump, pass this, don't pass this, what we're watching at the core is a giant scam. The Trump campaign, such as it is a vehicle to enrich Donald Trump, just as his presidency was. The American presidency should not be a license to steal from us by the president. We stand at the precipice in this country of an abyss. There is no way to recover from smashing the idea that is the cornerstone of the country, which is that we, the people, pick our leaders, as opposed to being picked by a leader. The difference between the two is beyond profound. The difference between the two is the difference between liberty and slavery. Listen to Donald Trump's words.
Is there any woman in this giant stadium who would like not to be protected? Is there any woman in this stadium that wants to be protected by the president?
And listen to the words of his supporters from Sunday.
The cartels are gone. The criminal migrants are gone. The gangs are gone. America is for Americans and Americans only.
Do you want to live in that country? My answer to that question is no. I hope your answer to that question is no. Because that country would be an immoral place, a cruel place, an indecent place. And we are not that. Almost 250 years ago, the world cracked. It began anew. There was a rupture in the timeline of everything that came before. In an instant, in a declaration of independence, a group of men, all white, all but one Protestant, declared that all are created equal. Men, that is, endowed by a creator, an unnamed God, with inalienable rights, meaning they're not Donald Trump's or Stephen Miller's or Jason Miller's or Robert Kennedy's or anybody's to take away. And that among them are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The government that was created to sustain these concepts, government of, for, and by the people, has endured for 2.5 centuries. The project of the United States is bigger than any of us. It will endure beyond our lifetimes. When our children are born, in an instant, they become Americans. It's the first thing they receive from us that we transfer to them at the moment they take their first breath. And they pass it on. And they pass it on. Small child today, one day, will put on the uniform of the country. and serve it. Young girl today may be the 57th president of the United States someday. Anything is possible in America, so long as there is freedom in America, so long as there is the recognition that there is something innate, something godly about the individual who in our country is free, not a captive, a hostage, a vessel for the whims of the political leaders in the country. These people work for us. 5 days to go. The choice could not be clearer. It is America or Trump. There is one pro-American candidate in the race who believes in our ideas, our ideals, who respects our story, our history, our civilization, and there is one arsonist in the race who wants to burn it down. A con man, a criminal, an adjudicated rapist, a sexual assaulter. And take it from somebody who grew up in northern New Jersey, who's had to live his entire life from age 11 on with the cognition that Donald Trump is ubiquitous and never going away. He is unfit. He is lying to you. He's not a successful businessman. He is a bankrupted con man. Donald Trump disdains you. He disdains the country. There is only room in his heart for the love of one thing that he's shown us over and over and over and over again. Donald Trump. That's all he cares about. So when Sean Hannity tries to tell you that an obese, orange-hued man in a vest who can barely lift his leg to climb into a truck is in the middle of a heroic, historic action.
Today in Wisconsin, take a look at that. This may go down as an iconic, epic moment that we will remember for a long time.
Be smart. Use your judgment. Because you're being lied to. You're being deceived. You're being played. And the one thing that Donald Trump and Sean Hannity and Megyn Kelly and Charlie Kirk and every one of these frauds believe is that you're stupid. Stupid enough to fall for this con. Who in their right mind would vote for this infirm, elderly schlepper to represent us and the glory of the United States of America around the world? This is The Warning. I'm Steve Schmidt. This is The Warning, and I invite you to subscribe on our Substack, on our YouTube channel. Follow us. Welcome to the community.